On the one-year anniversary of the assassination of Hezbollah leader Sayed Hassan Nasrallah, I come to you from the scene of the Israeli attack that took his life. It was here on the night of September 27th, 2024, that Israeli warplanes struck Hezbollah's underground headquarters, collapsing entire buildings and killing Nasrallah along with many of his closest commanders. 1 year on, Lebanon is facing an internal crisis, with the government facing mounting pressure from the US and Israel to force a disarmament of Hezbollah and effectively end any resistance against Israel, which has failed to meet the terms of the ceasefire agreement signed on November 27, 2024, that ended the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah, which called on Israel to withdraw its forces and end its bombardment of the country. Today, we retrace the chain of events that led to that night and the turbulent year that followed, and look at the confounding position Lebanon faces, both internally and against an enemy that continues to occupy Lebanon and bomb its civilians. The war between Hezbollah and Israel began on October 8, 2023, one day after Hamas launched its assault on Israel. The following day, Israel retaliated with ferocious attacks on Gaza. In response, Hezbollah opened a northern front on October 8, striking Israeli military positions across the border in solidarity with the Palestinians. Since then, Lebanon has paid a devastating price as the cross-border attacks and aerial bombardment by Israel continued for many months. In June and July 2024, Israel escalated with targeted assassinations on Hezbollah military commanders. Talib Abdullah was killed on June 11th, Mohammed Na'mi Nasser on July the 3rd, and Fuad Shikr in Beirut on July 30th. Each strike was met with rocket reprisals, tightening the spiral of conflict. September was the war's deadliest month. On September 17 and 18, thousands of Hezbollah's pagers and radios exploded, killing and injuring thousands. On September 20, senior Radwan Force Commander Ibrahim Akil was assassinated. Then, on September 23 and 24, Israeli jets unleashed the most devastating strikes in decades, killing more than 500 and wounding 1,600 in just 24 hours. According to the Health Ministry, more than 3,700 people have been killed in total and nearly 15,700 wounded, including both civilians and fighters. Between 2,762 and 5,000 Hezbollah fighters were killed, with 7,000 to 13,000 wounded, and over 1 million Lebanese have been displaced during the battles. On the Israeli front, Hezbollah's attacks killed 52 people, including 27 civilians, and injured dozens more. The context was not limited to Lebanon. In April 2024, an Israeli strike destroyed Iran's consulate in Damascus, killing senior Revolutionary Guard officers. Days later, Iran launched hundreds of drones and missiles toward Israel, the largest direct Iranian strike in history, most of which were intercepted with the help of Western and Arab allies. And in late July, Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in Tehran, an act Iran squarely blamed on Israel. These events in Lebanon, Syria, and Iran formed a chain of escalation that culminated in the strike that killed Nasrallah. On the night of September 27th, Israeli jets struck Hezbollah's underground command center, here, where I'm standing, in Dahyeh, in the southern suburbs of Beirut. Hassan Nasrallah, who had led Hezbollah for more than 3 decades, was killed. His death confirmed the following day sent shockwaves through Lebanon and the region. Days later, on October the 1st, Israel launched a ground invasion into southern Lebanon, but Hezbollah fighters pushed them back, inflicting casualties. On October the 3rd, Nasrallah's designated successor, Hassan Nasrallah, was also assassinated. By late October, Naim Qassem was named Secretary General. On November 27th, a US and France brokered ceasefire was announced. Hezbollah agreed to pull back fighters north of the Litani River, while Israel was meant to withdraw behind the Blue Line. But the deal frayed almost immediately. While Hezbollah has complied with the terms of the agreement and has not fired a single missile at Israel since, Israel breached the terms almost immediately, detonating 37 villages in southern Lebanon, reducing historic homes, olive groves and buildings to rubble, and displacing hundreds of thousands of Lebanese citizens. It has refused to fully withdraw and continues to occupy 5 strategic positions up to 14 kilometres inside Lebanon. Israeli strikes and incursions have persisted in violation of the ceasefire to this day. Meanwhile, the US and its allies have increased pressure on Lebanon to disarm Hezbollah. In August 25, the Lebanese government formally voted to disarm Hezbollah under heavy pressure from the US and promises of aid. And this led to Naim Qassem, the leader of Hezbollah, rejecting outright the plan, calling it an Israeli agenda dressed in international diplomacy.
وهذا القرار الحكومي اتخذ تحت الإملاءات الأمريكية الإسرائيلية. هذه الحكومة إذا استمرت بهذه الصيغة هي ليست أمينة على سيادة لبنان.
And yet the irony is clear. While Lebanon faces immense pressure to disarm its resistance, there has been no equal pressure on Israel to honour the ceasefire, to withdraw its troops, or to end its bombardments. The imbalance speaks volumes about the political dynamics shaping this conflict. Today, 1 year on from Nasrallah's death, the wounds of war continue to scar the nation. Tens of thousands are dead or wounded, millions displaced, continuing violations, shifting leadership, and unrelenting pressure on Lebanon. Ceasefire promises remain unfulfilled. The questions remain: has the assassination of Nasrallah changed the course of the conflict, or has it only deepened it? And what future lies ahead for Lebanon under such one-sided demands? Will the Lebanese government follow through with plans to disarm Hezbollah? And if so, can the Lebanese army defend Lebanon against Israel, which has made clear through declarations by its Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other ministers that their intention is to achieve a greater Israel, which includes annexing parts of Lebanon?